Welcome to the Town of Babylon Planning Board. Today is the 16th of December, 2024. We have one public hearing, but before we start that, could you take the roll, please?
Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Frank Santos. Present. Julianne Nolan. Gerald O'Neill. Present. Dan Trucon.
Present.
Ed Wynn.
Present.
Juan Leon.
Present.
Greg Gaxiola. Matt Esposito. Nunzio Russo. Rich Casey.
Okay. Do we have a quorum?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Could you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? We start our meeting. Okay. Dan, why don't you start?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start the public hearing, I need to read this statement into the record. The Planning Board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the Planning Board may determine that any of the approvals, building permits, or any other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void.
Public hearing, site plan review, job 24-14A, Kelly Windows, purpose to construct a 3,310 square foot warehouse addition to an existing 15,000 square foot single-story warehouse with office space along with associated site plans.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant to address the board? Could you please state your name for the record?
Good evening. My name is Ishwar Kusuri. I'm the representative for Kelly Windows.
Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, have you had the opportunity to review the December 11th memo from Denise Graziano, the Commissioner of Planning and Development, regarding this application with your client? Have you reviewed this
Yes.
memo? Does your client have any concerns about any of the conditions, covenants, and restrictions that are outlined in the memo?
The client is right here. His name is, I think the representative is Frank Palmer. We discussed, and I believe they don't have any objections to that.
So they have no objections?
No objections.
Right? Is that right, Mr. Palmer? Correct. Okay. Note that Mr. Palmer said there are no objections to any of the conditions, restrictions, or covenants. Okay, please proceed.
Kelly Windows, the applicant, wants to build a storage yard behind their existing building, which is about 82 feet by 40 feet and 20 feet high. This is strictly used for storage of their product, which they make is windows. It'll be a non-heated building, no office space, nothing. It'll be rightly behind the existing building, as I said. It'll be hidden from Smith Street towards the south side of the street and behind an existing building. The facade will match the existing building. There's nothing significant of nature. As I said, it'll be strictly for storage of their product, which they make is windows.
Could you walk us through the plan here so we can just, and Matt will follow your discussion here.
Yeah, the plan is to improve the entrance to the existing driveway, and they're creating two new handicapped spots in the front, and mainly improve the accessibility with the driveway. And there'll be a small amount of curb cut will be modified to make sure that right now it's dilapidated, so they want to improve that. The catch base will be remaining the same. There's no other significant changes to be made. And then as we enter, we have a parking along the existing building on the west side, so that'll be removed, and then we're going to pave the entire asphalt, and then the addition will be behind, as you see the drawing. It's about 82 feet by 40 feet, and that'll be attached to the existing building. There'll be some parking in the back As you can see, a new asphalt over there, and the garbage enclosure will be located at the end. There'll be, I believe, like 2 dry wells to be installed to compensate for the stormwater. That's mainly it, though. There's nothing much.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Do any of the board members have any questions? Julianne?
Sir, in the aerial photo, it looked like you had several storage containers where this addition is going to be.
Yeah, they will be removed and replaced with the building, though. That's the, currently, I believe Frank can address. Frank, do you want to address?
Okay, Frank, why don't you come on up here so you can address the board, please?
Yeah.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Okay, my name is Frank Palmer. I'm General Manager at Kelly Window Systems.
Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth?
I do. That's
your address?
wrong hand. I'm a lefty.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Do you play golf with both hands?
Yeah, right? So yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We've been in this building over 30 years. Storage has always been a problem. I know outdoor storage, we have aluminum extrusions that through the years we had people stealing them and everything else. So we really need inside storage. So at one point we had a building across the street and everything, but to have everything under the one roof is really gonna help us. So all those containers are gone now. There's 3 of those old tractor trailers. That will all be gone. It will really enable us to expand the storage area and to open up the production floor and get better production for manufacturing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? No other questions? What about the garbage? Do you have, is there sufficient, let me ask our planner, is there sufficient room for the dumpster to be empty? Frank?
Right.
Is the parking also sufficient?
I believe we need a variance for the parking. I think it's listed, I think we need about 20 spots, though.
Excuse me, and can you tell us what other variances you need, sir, besides the parking variance?
I believe that's the only variance we require, though, just the park.
You need one for the amount of building coverage, I believe. That the building is occupying more of the percentage of the land that is normally granted. So the zoning board, I think, has to consider that also.
Okay.
Okay. Matt, would you want to confirm that?
Yeah, it's in the memo.
Is it in the memo? Okay.
It lists out the parking as well as maximum building area.
Okay.
Shown on the site plan as well.
On the upper right corner.
All right. All right, very good. Any other questions? No? Okay. Since there are no, is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
So I need a motion to close the hearing and reserve decision. Let's see, motion by Dan? Motion. Second by Julianne? All in favor? Aye. Aye. The resolution is approved to reserve decision and to close the hearing. Now that the public hearing has been closed, the decision has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback we've received this evening. Not that we received any, but or any other open site plans. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in the following methods. In person, planning is located at the west end of Town Hall. Applications, documents, plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or via email, planning comments, that's one word, planning comments @townofbabylon.com. Thank you very much. You don't have to say, unless you want to. Okay.
But so the decision is still,
No,
is the decision granted?
no, the decision is reserved
Reserved,
in the event there are any open issues.
okay.
Okay, but this hearing is closed. There'll be no more public hearings of the planning board regarding this application. Okay, next agenda item. Thank you.
Information hearing, site plan review, job 24-24A, 100 Carolyn LLC. Purposes to interior alterations for an addition of a 1,748 square foot mezzanine for office space and modification to the layout of existing office space along with associated site improvements.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Enik Mehmeti, the architect for the project.
Could you state your address as well? Did you fill out a, okay, you have.
I did.
You have the information.
567 Broadway, Massapequa, 11758.
Okay, thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
The reason why we're here is because we're adding a mezzanine into the existing building. The owner decided to remove the existing office space that was there, spread out in one level, and build a more condensed space into a first floor and a mezzanine above that. That being said, we're not changing the bulk of the building. We're keeping the same building that we have. We're just doing the interior renovation. During the review process and the way that the operations are going, the operation in itself needed some condensers to be installed, and the owner did the best that he could within the building. And it looks like whatever they have in there, it's not working because it's generating a lot of heat. So we added into the scope of work to add those condensers on the outside of the building. That being said, those condensers have to be covered. So we're proposing a simple structure with a few columns and a roof over it, but fully open on the outside, and a fence as to impede people or things going into that space and damaging those condensers. In addition to that, the necessary operations needed another transformer, which was installed, unfortunately without the benefit of a permit. So we're looking to have that into the scope of work as to maintain what was done in there. It was done on a pad, and it was done properly, and the pipes were put into the building. In addition to that, we are providing some greenery around this existing transformer and around the condensers that are to be installed. As a result of this whole scope of work that we are proposing here, we're changing the existing trash enclosure. We're removing that one due to the fact that it's too small, even though it's located in a good location. And we're proposing to put that as a trash compactor close to the building into the concrete ramp and loading dock that's already existing in there. So as far as what we're doing, that's the most of it. Also, on the outside, we are changing the walkway, the existing walkway, which is a concrete walkway, to ADA compliant. And then we're providing 2 parking spots which are ADA compliant, and we're redoing that portion of the asphalt as needed to comply with the requirement based on what is needed and the comments that we got back. In addition to that, we have a small apron in there, and the curbs or that apron, we're passing the property line. We got a comment for that, so we're changing that to make it compliant with Town of Babylon requirements as far as what is needed and what we have to do. Other than that, being that the striping of the parking is very faded, we're restriping the whole parking lot to what is needed, and we're hatching a few areas that are there for entrance and access for trucks and small trucks and things of that nature, as to not to park in there. And we also added a bike rack based on the latest comment that we got from the traffic engineer. We have responded to most of the comments during the first and the second review, and we responded to the latest comments from the traffic engineer, which was their first review. But they haven't re-reviewed that and giving us any feedback as to if it's enough or it should be more. Based on the conversation that we had with the plan examiner, we should be good to go and receive approval. So we can proceed to the next step, which is a variance for the parking, which is deficient as far as the number goes. And this is in a nutshell what we're doing and why we're doing and what we're asking from the planning board to hopefully approve.
All right, before we open it up for board questions, I meant to ask if you've reviewed the memo from Denise Graziano, the Commissioner of Planning, dated December 11th regarding this application. Does your client have any questions, any concerns regarding any of the conditions, covenants, and restrictions listed in this memorandum?
I have read that.
Yes.
It was not much different from the first one that we received. It was discussed with the owner, and we have the right-hand man of the owner and the owner's son.
Okay.
And as far as I know, I haven't got any feedback as to if there is anything that's a concern, so they are going to comply with everything that's given.
So, okay, good. So they have no objection to any of the covenants?
Correct.
Any of the restrictions or any of the conditions? Okay, thank you. Do any of the board members have any questions regarding this application? Julianne?
I didn't hear, what type of business is being run in here?
I'm going to try my best to explain based on my understanding, and I'm going to simplify that for everybody. You take a roll of paper or cellophane, which is either pre-printed or you print it, and it becomes a package at the end of the process. It's a printing and folding process. You have a machine that's anywhere from 50 to 70 feet long, and it goes from there to there. You put the roll of cellophane or paper, and then it goes through a series of folding and heating, and it comes as a package of, let's say, a cashew or something that carries a hair product or something like that.
And how many employees?
Altogether, I was told that in the worst case scenario, the maximum number of employees that are needed to run this operation, it's 20. Even though when we did the plans, we said that just in case you have 5 kids from a school coming to see the operation, let's add another 10 to the 20. So we presented to the board that there are going to be no more than 30 people.
Thank you.
As of now, if I'm not mistaken, based on what I was told, it's only 15 people. And it's fully operational because there is a portion of the building that has storage of those rolls of paper or plastic that it's being used. And the machines are fairly long, and it's a very interesting process. I was amazed as to how they work. And all they need is 3 people to operate. And they are old people that know what they are doing. I can't do it.
I was wondering where all those packages came from. Now we know. They come from the town of Babylon. Babylon town, the heart of it all. Okay, any other questions? Could the gentleman who, do you run the plant and everything?
COO, yeah.
Oh, can you come up here? Because I'd like to hear more about your
He can
operation.
explain it much better.
Okay.
My name is Michael.
Hold on, you got to come right to the microphone because we record everything. Could you please state your name and address?
Michael Liff, L-I-F-F,
And your address?
5 DeMott Avenue, Baldwin, New York.
Could you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Tell us about how you do this.
So what he was explaining was very simplified, but it's a pouch. And these days, everything goes in pouches. So we create a pouch using multiple layers of material, and it's, sanitary, and it's good for edible products. Ultimately, it's a pouch that has a zipper on top and comes in multiple sizes. And it's a very simple operation. We print on a press. It goes to another machine to put layers of material together. And then it goes to the other machine that makes the physical pouch, and it ships out. So it can be anywhere from 6 people to 8 people on a shift. You know, God willing, we get larger and larger, then we might need more, but
So tell us, how many packages do you produce? A
It dep-
year, a month? I'm just curious,
Well,
the scale of it.
I would go by minute,
how much?
per minute.
We can do, it's 110 per minute, it's about 50,000 a day.
We could possibly do up to 50,000 pouches on a shift.
How many pouches?
50,000.
50,000 pouches.
It goes about 100 a minute when it's, but it's a multiple process.
All right, that's interesting. Okay, any other questions?
Made and bred in Babylon County.
I like that.
Let's remember that.
I like that. I'm just trying to think. I just got a package from Amazon. One of my wife's gifts. And it was one of those little pouches.
Yeah, it's becoming very popular.
Of course, it's easier, it's
It's
lighter.
easier,
it's
yeah.
all those things. How long has this business been operating here?
Well, the initial business, not this, but this is another sector of the initial business that the family owns. It's about 78 years. It's a family-run business. This gentleman is 3rd generation.
Third generation?
Yeah, and the kids are in there running it.
Don't screw it up.
They normally say that's what happens. But we're very lucky. Him and his brother and his
No,
sister,
I'm sure.
they're really good kids.
I'm sure.
And we're leaving it in good hands.
I noticed. You know, he goes around with nothing but packages in his pockets. But no, that's great.
And we have the other operation around the corner that produces labels for
Labels.
craft beers, wines, anything, health goods, nutraceutical items.
Wow, you got a lot going on. I remember when that was Zahn's Airport,
Yeah. No, we're very fortunate.
and the administration at that time said, we're going to do something that's never happened in Babylon. We're actually going to have a planned area for industrial manufacturing.
You know, years ago, we used to be in Freeport, and Superstorm Sandy destroyed our facility.
Wow.
And it took us about 1.5 years to find this place and put it back together. And it's just a really good organization, and we kept all the same employees. They all came in from Freeport. It's just a nice, clean place. It doesn't look like a dungy factory. It's bright, it's air-conditioned, it's well-lit, and they're good people to work for.
So you must also pay attention to the air quality, of course. as
100%.
you're doing this,
It's
yeah.
very important.
Right.
We exhaust all the fumes that come from presses. They all get exhausted out of the building. And all filtered. The only thing that's holding us up now is these chillers
Right.
that we didn't plan on keeping indoors is affecting the environment of the printing presses. So that's why it's really imperative we can try to get these outside,
Interesting.
you know.
So you learned something. Thank you. This is great. So you're going to be there a long time, not going anywhere.
I beg your pardon?
You're not, this business is not leaving this town.
Oh, no,
not a-
not at all. We just
No.
got there, and it's going to be there for another 78 years at least.
Well, yeah, that's your job.
And the way it's going,
And is it your brother or your cousin? Who else is in it? Your brother?
My brother, my sister, my
Is-
brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah, you've got a lot of responsibility. That generation there.
and the way it's going, we'll look for a 3rd building, hopefully. We're very fortunate when we do a good job. It's all about customer service and taking care of people and wanting to do business with us.
That's right.
Yeah. And we treat our employees really well.
That's the most important thing,
It's important to us.
because you're only as good as the these experienced
Absolutely.
employees. You know that they're reliable, they're honest, they do their job well, and they look forward probably to coming to work.
We're one big family.
One big family.
We are.
Don't ever sell this business, because you'll ruin everything.
Well,
Not just for your family, because, money, you have enough money.
no.
I mean, you can only eat one steak a night. Remember that.
Well, and we do get approached weekly from people looking for merger and acquisition to buy these
Yeah, I'm
types
sure
of
you do.
businesses. They do. But these boys are not going to sell this business. His father has made it very successful, and they're going to keep it going for their kids.
All right, great. Anybody else have any questions? Come on, ask them a question.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
Ed?
I'm curious, the Banfi Plaza, is that, does that come from the liquor or the wine? Was that related at all?
It's above my pay grade. No, I don't really know. You know, we access through Caroline, so, and our other building is on Allen, around the corner.
On Allen Boulevard, yeah. Okay, all right, very good. Any other questions? Is anyone from the public like to address the board? I don't see anybody who'd like to address the board. So I need a motion to close the public hearing and reserve decision. Motion by Julianne, second by Jerry. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? No, okay, the resolution is approved. The public hearing has now been closed. The decision is reserved. If there's any feedback we need to review, or are there any open site issues, the record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in person. Planning is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents, plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or via planningcomments@townofbabylon.com. That concludes our public hearings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.